This is Camping with Wade's RV on 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk. Your RV guide for Oklahoma and beyond. Give us a call at 918-460-KRMG. Now, let's hit the road.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Camping with Wade's RV. This is 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk. Thanks so much for joining us on this Saturday afternoon Ask the Experts weekend. I'm Skyler Cooper. Make sure you join the show if you want to talk camping or RVs. The number, 918-460-KRMG, 460-5764. You can also give us a call or shoot us a text, rather, at 70123. The number is 70123. Now, Willy D joins me from Wade's RV. How are you, Willy D?
I'm doing awesome. I have been out on the road all morning helping customers out. I will tell you a little bit more about that later in Willy D's delivery diaries, but it's a exciting day out here at Wade's RV. We're going to be having RV and treat. Like I said, I'm delivering RVs all day in between now and then. And then I got a couple things to share with you. We actually are opening up a new location, so I'm going to share where that's going to be at. And then I actually have Glenn from Wildcat. I've been really talking about this new Wildcat and all the redesign and everything about it. And he came in for training this week, and so I have him as a guest this week on the show. And then also I have some new products that arrived, so we're going to talk about all of that and a little bit more. So it's going to be a really great program, and I'm just really excited about everything that's going on.
It's a really nice day for Halloween, so a good time for people to come on out. Tell us more about RV and Treat happening today and at Wade's RV.
RV and Treat is going to be the best thing that we have ever done at Wade's RV. It's really, really cool. So I went around the store and I kind of made teams. And so each one of these teams were in charge of an RV. And so I think we're going to have about 8 RVs up front. They're going to be loaded with candy. So make sure you come and get some of that. I'm in charge of the candy, so you know there's going to be good stuff. So we're going to have lots of candy. We're going to have giveaways for the kids. I got a whole bunch of glow sticks and stuff that you can make into glasses or wear them as wristbands, necklaces. You name it, we're going to have that out there. I did hear a rumor that the Actar Shriners might be showing up as well. And we're also, for the adults, I have a really big giveaway. So we actually have you can't just go into Premier Steel and buy these. You actually have to have a contract with them. And here at Wade's RV, we have a contract with Premier Steel to get these specialized grills. And they're actually a grill and fire pit that actually folds up into like a little briefcase. And it's super heavy duty. It weighs about 40 pounds. So you know it's super, super heavy duty. And so we have one of those that we are actually going to be announcing the winner of tonight as well. So you want to make sure that you're coming by Wade's RV as you're going out to enjoy your Halloween activities. We're located at 161st and Highway 75. We're going to be having a great time out here. Like I said, lots of candy for the kids. I'm actually going to have some hot dogs and stuff. Michael from Hot Diggity Dog, if you've been out here to Wade's RV, you know they are great. So we're going to have him out here as well and just having a really fun time. It's going to be safe. It's going to be a family-friendly environment. So come on by and see us tonight. And if you want to see RVs, we got those. That's what I had all of the teams decorate these RVs and Halloween themes, and these are cool. Up on the front demo pad, I have a Torque 378 toy hauler, and so that is a big fifth wheel, and it's got just about every option you could ever imagine. And then right next to that, I have one of our famous Newmars. And so that thing has full body paint. It's got outdoor television and it is spooky. And then right next to that one on the demo pad is going to be our Bighorn front living. And so those were a really big hit a couple years ago. And Bighorn has done an excellent job at making this just a stand up floor plan across the board. And so I have one of those. I have our famous Aspen Trails. And then Glenn, he is going to get you excited about this Wildcat. So you might not want to wait until tonight. Come on by and see us beforehand. We're going to be open until 5, doing RV sales out here. And so if you're interested in this Wildcat, you got to come by.
I think we lost Willy D for just a second there as we continue to have a bit of a technical difficulty, but I am looking through the pictures of that 2021 Forest River Wildcat, Willy D, and that thing is really nice. He sent me a picture of this, or the link to it yesterday, so you can find it yourself if you go to wadesrv.com, and if you type 2021 Forest River Wildcat, I'm sure it'll come right up, and this thing is just spectacular. So let's go ahead and bring Glenn in, and he can start to describe this thing for us as we try to reconnect with Willy D. It's Camping with Wade's RV on KRMG. I'm Skyler Cooper, and Glenn joins us. Glenn, how are you?
You, Skyler?
Doing great. I'm looking through some pictures of this Wildcat, and this thing is really stunning. I've seen some great RVs down there at Wade's RV, but this thing, it's got some of the stuff that I really love in the modern RVs, and that is that modern interior and some really cool furniture. Tell us about this thing.
Well, it's an all new redesigned model. It's the interior is very residential look. It's got the white upper cabinets, and the lower cabinets are a dark black color. So it's kind of got a lot of contrast, and it's just a beautiful. It's a rear living model, fifth wheel. Has a big sofa across the rear that makes into a bed if you have guests. And it has a 60-inch theater seating that reclines, and so you're in front of a big television where you can sit and watch movies when you're out camping. And this got a nice table and chairs for dining, and just a great kitchen area with a nice modern stove with a residential oven, has a big microwave and a residential refrigerator. So it's got all the accommodations you would want to have in your home, and but it's in a mobile vehicle.
It is very residential. That's a great way to describe it, because some of these things look like a really nice modern home, and just a huge step forward in some of the RVs that we've seen from the past into something like this. And I mean, it is super classy. The furniture looks pretty unique to me. I've not seen that sort of piping on the edges, and it's just super, super modern.
Well, it's just a new look for us. We've tried to come out with something that was different than everybody else in the marketplace, and I think we've our designer gals have done a very good job with all the furniture and the color schemes and everything. They've really done a nice job.
Willy D, we're looking through the pictures of the Wildcat as we talk about it here. And this thing, I mean, you've shown me some really great RVs. I love a lot of those modern ones. This really, it might be my new favorite.
It is super, super cool, and it's loaded with features. This one actually has 2 awnings on the outside. Back behind that big 60-inch television there's actually more storage. So I was watching a little bit of a training video on this, and they kept preaching storage, storage, storage. And that is what this thing is loaded with, is tons of storage, tons of amenities, and tons of technology. I was really just taken back by just everything that this coach has to offer. It has auto leveling, so you can just click a button and walk away from it. Super cool with that. Like we said, the super modern design on the inside. And whenever you've been RVing for a while, you start to look for certain things. And one thing that really took me back was that nice shower that it had in there. So it's got nice glass doors on there, and it really just, like you said, it feels residential. It feels like you're in your home. And so whenever you're out there in those way secluded areas, you got a little taste of home, and you can also bring everything with you. That's what's so nice, is you are bringing your home on wheels with you. Now, whenever I pick up or pack up my tent and then I go home and unpack it whenever I go back out camping again, I don't necessarily feel like that's home. With an RV, I definitely feel way more at home in one of those.
Glenn, I'm looking at a picture here on wadesrv.com of this Wildcat, and I think this is the bedroom door that is pretty interesting. It's all black. It's got some horizontal lines and a really unique looking handle. Now, that's unlike any RV door I've ever seen.
Now, that's probably the wardrobe across the front of the RV in the master bedroom.
Okay.
It's just kind of a barn-style door. It's just a different look. We didn't want to do, everybody either has glass doors or louvered doors or something like that, so we just wanted a little different look.
Willy D, I don't think that you've shown me anything quite like this. So people want to check it out. What should they do?
So if you want to check it out, for one, you can go online. That's probably going to be the fastest way to get around it and see it. But more importantly, come on down here to Wade's RV and check it out. And if you are interested in this unit, you can call us right now, and we will put your name on it. We'll put a hold on there, and that way you have first right of refusal, and you can be down here and check it out today. We'll be open until 5 p.m., and our phone number is 918-291-1011, and we're located at 161st and Highway 75. You can't miss us. We are Oklahoma's only full-service dealership, and we have a little bit of a footprint out here in Glenpool.
I also really like the interior, that blue and black design on the outside of the white. It's just super clean.
Super clean, super modern, and it really just brings us up to where, the interior designs of houses have been the last couple of years. Many times whenever you're looking at an RV, people were just used to all the wood grain. I mean, from the day one of RVs, it's just been wood grain and mirrors, wood grain and mirrors. And we're finally stepping away from that. So if you want to see modern RVs with the most modern technology, you got to come out here and see us at Wade's RV. We have 24 of the top brands out there, and that's including Newmar, Integra, Wildcat, and many more. So we have lots of those brands, and we're here to help you. That's one thing I hear over and over again, is that not all RV dealerships are created equal. I just got done delivering that great new vibe. And the customer said, wow, the experience was just a night and day difference from what he experienced before. And he said that he actually met Wade at the Tulsa Home and Garden Show, or the Tulsa Boat Sport and Travel Show, one of those. And he said, it probably was 6 years ago whenever I met that man. And he remembered, he said, I just walked in and he caught us in the office with one of the guys. And he said, hey, and he brought up, the exact unit that we had. And just, he remembered everything about it. He was just really impressed by that. And that's the level of customer service that you're going to find here at Wade's RV, as we're really going the extra mile for our customers.
We'll take a break. It is Camping with Wade's RV on KRMG. I'm Skyler Cooper. If you want to join the show, ooh, I like that, spooky on Halloween, you can join us, 918-460-KRMG. We'll be right back.
Every Saturday at noon on 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's news.
You better believe it. I was going to make a request during the break if we could play Monster Mash. That's one of my favorite Halloween songs.
I told Tim that's the only one I don't want to hear, but I guess we'll make an exception for you.
Are you kidding me? You have to. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and say we have to play that. Come on.
All right.
It's Camping with Wade's RV. We got to have the Monster Mash. Come on, Skyler.
So,
but
I guess I'll let that go.
I'm definitely going to be tonight. I'm actually going to be out there DJing. Yeah, well, you got to make sacrifices some days. But tonight I'm going to be out here DJing. So if you want to hear some more Halloween tunes, we're going to have all the speakers on the RVs turned up. We're going to have lots of candy, and it's really just going to be a great time for the whole entire family. So as you're out trick-or-treating, you're going around the town, stop on by and see us here at Wade's RV. We're going to have super cool RVs lit up and ready for you to see. And like I said, we're going to have candy. That's my favorite part of Halloween.
Yeah, check out RV and Treat tonight at Wade's RV. And we're talking about a really, really awesome RV on the show today that you want to check out if you're just curious about what modern RVs look like and what you can really get out there and camp in today. The 2021 Forest River Wildcat is amazing. And Willy D, I know you guys have specific reasons for the model numbers, so should we throw that out too?
Yeah, so we have specific reasons for the model numbers. I believe this one is an RL, and what that stands for is rear living. I would have to look exactly what the first number is on it.
336.
Glenn would probably know that a little bit better than me offhand. 336. Okay, so it probably means that has about a 36 foot box on it, and then it's, like we said, RL, and so that's gonna be rear living. So back in the day, those numbers used to be spot on with the actual. Okay, bingo. So yeah, 3 slides right there. So actually, I'll let Glenn explain exactly what that model number stands for.
Yeah, Glenn, go ahead.
Well, not every manufacturer, over time they always they were tied to the length of the trailer, possibly, but like on our 336, it's a 3 slides, 36 foot, and the rear living model is basically what that designates.
Okay. Let's learn more about this thing. We were talking about some of the description in the pictures a little while ago, and check this out at wadesrv.com if you want to follow along with us, or just give us a call, 460-KRMG, 918-460-5764. But Glenn, we wanted to talk a little bit more about the interior, the structure of this thing. So let's talk about the construction and how it stands apart.
Well, I'll start from the bottom up. We use a heavy duty axles, Dexter axles. We use an I-beam frame. Then we use a tongue and groove plywood floor, which is a very solid floor. A lot of the competition uses a lightweight laminated floor with a thin decking on it. We use a wood structure that goes on top of the frame. It has a 5/8-inch tongue and groove plywood. It's nailed and glued down, so it's a very solid. It's like a dance floor inside. Willy D could probably have his radio show and have a lot of people in there dancing around in there. And but then the side walls are a 2-inch vacuum bonded, aluminum welded structured walls. And all of our window openings, all of our frame openings are all framed out with aluminum. So there's no chance of any kind of, damage from, windows being installed or anything like that. And then our roof is an arched roof. It's a trussed roof, but it's an arched where there's no place for water to puddle or set on the roof. So it doesn't have any, like in the wintertime and in the wet weather, the water all sheds off of the roof. So it just kind of helps the longevity of the product by not having places where the water can puddle and penetrate into the unit, into the walls or in the roof and cause damage over time. But, we use a fiberglass front cap. And but it's a very well put together unit. Our roof material, we use a Dicor PVC roof material, which is a very heavy material. it won't, you can't penetrate through it with branches or anything like that, which most everybody's going to get into campgrounds where they're going to be rubbing up against trees. So they don't have to worry about, trees puncturing the roof material. But, we've put together a real good package of a quality built unit. It, a lot of our construction features with the floor and the wall and the roofing, it's construction that you only see in much higher end products. So we feel pretty fortunate to have the construction that we have in our product. And, and that just ensures the longevity and the life of the vehicle.
Willie D, I'm curious just about how this stacks up, because I scrolled down past all those awesome pictures at wadesrv.com and saw the price, and I was actually kind of shocked. I was expecting a lot more, and then it was marked down even more than what it's listed at. So how do you get away with that?
Well, I was shocked by it myself whenever I first saw it, whenever I was preparing for this show. But one reason that Wade's RV is able to get its prices at such a low point is because we buy so many units from these manufacturers, and we also have long-standing relationships with these folks. And so whenever all of those different factors come into play, that's how we're able to stand apart from the competition with just our price. Now, standing apart from the competition starts with price, and then it ends with service, dependability, and how you're going to take care of that customer after the sale. And so that's just one way that we're able to take advantage of it, is because of our buying power. We have a lot of buying power, being, for one of the largest dealerships in Oklahoma, but the only full service dealership as well. Wade really wants to make sure that we're able to provide the best service for our customers, and to work on RVs, to store RVs, to sell parts for RVs. Then we need to make sure that we have the best prices on RVs. And so the Wildcat is just one of these incredible units that has so much bang for the buck. And you're asking about how does it stack up? Let me give you a little bit of some insider information, Skyler. So remember, we had Rocky from Riverstone. He came on the show a while back. And the guy that Rocky was working for at the time, Craig, he is actually the one who redesigned this Wildcat. And so that's where you're seeing a lot of these higher end features and stuff, is because it came down straight from Riverstone. And so this is not a Riverstone. It doesn't weigh 16,000 pounds. It doesn't have 4 ACs on it, stuff like that. But it very much shares a lot of the construction standards, just because they were used to building that same style of coach up there. And so you see it goes, that Riverstone runs about $100,000, and this one's going to run you right in the 50s and 60s, depending on what floor plan and model and that sort of thing that you actually settle on. So how does it stack up? It stacks up with the best of them.
And
whenever you're talking about bang for your buck, I would say this is probably the best one. Yeah, this is probably the best bang for your buck that you're ever going to find in a fifth wheel at this point in time. I was totally blown away by it, and I'm trying to convince Wade to wrap one so then I can travel around it. But we'll see how that goes.
We need to take a break. You're listening to Camping with Wade's RV. We'll check the news and the forecast here at the bottom of the hour in the 24-hour Fox News Center with Burt Williams. And I think when we come back, we're going to fulfill Willie D's request. Play some Monster Mash. I'll just plug my ears and get away with it. It's Camping with Wade's RV on 102.3 KRMG.
Tulsa's News and Talk.
On 102.3 KRMG, fulfilling Willie D's request to hear the Monster Mash on this Halloween edition of the show. Talking all things camping today, and RV and Treat is happening tonight at Wade's RV. Remind us all the details, Willie D.
So RV and Treat is going to be the first ever of its kind. We're going to have RVs all decorated up in the Halloween spirit. We're going to have lots of candy to give away. We're going to have lots of giveaways for the kids. So it's just going to be an all-around great family fun time. And so you can come out and see some of the coolest RVs that you will ever lay eyes on. And you can also have a great time and get some candy. I mean, who doesn't love candy? We're not going to limit it. You know, you can get some candy for your kids, but go ahead and have a piece for yourself. I mean, come on, it's good stuff. So we're going to have that going on tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. So you don't want to miss out on that. Come out and see us here at Wade's RV. We're going to have everyone out here. And so it's going to be a lot of fun tonight, and you probably will be able to hear the Monster Mash because it's one of my favorite songs. I was telling over the break, I was talking, and Miss Stites in my music class. I don't know if that was her favorite song, but all growing up through elementary school, she repeatedly played that all through the October and probably a little bit of the November season. So if she's listening, thank you for passing along that transition to me as well.
We've been talking about the 2021 Forest River Wildcat, and Glenn joins us to represent the brand and talk about the unit that we've been talking about here, the 336 RLS. And Glenn, we wanted to talk a little bit more about it. You told us all about the construction in the last segment. And before we get too far away from it, I want to talk about if someone wanted to get one of these, what do you need to pull it? I mean, is this something you need a giant 3/4 ton truck for, or what'll pull this thing?
Well, we would definitely recommend a 3/4 ton truck, or bigger. The half ton, just not quite. This one here is the dry weight on it's a little over 10,000 pounds. So, and with the length, the 36-foot length, that's just a little bit marginal for the half ton, but the 3/4 ton certainly would do the job with ease.
Willy D, I think that'd be a good piece of advice. And, it's one of the things that you advise people to come ask you guys before they pick something up is make sure they're going to be equipped properly.
Make sure that you're equipped properly with the right hitch, the right truck, and most importantly, when you come to Wade's RV, the right camper. That's what we're really going to focus on, is making sure that you have all of those different elements lined up, because if you have one of those elements that is off, it can make your camping experience not be as pleasurable as what it could. And so if you're looking, or you do have any questions about anything like that, give us a call, because it's really cool. We have a book, and we just type in exactly what your truck or your SUV is, and we can tell you exactly what the tow rating is. And so if you're wondering about that, go ahead and give us a call, 918-291-1011. And also you can go online. We have a really cool new feature on there. That website is just getting better and better every day. We actually have a new live chat feature. So if you get on there today, you can just click that little icon that looks like it's a little messaging tab, and that'll connect you with one of our folks here at the store. They'll be able to answer any questions about what your truck can pull, or maybe if you're wondering, hey, I bought this camper, am I overloaded? Maybe I should get something smaller. We can help you out with that. Or on the flip side, maybe you got a bigger truck and you're ready to get a bigger camper and go out there on some different adventures. We can help you out with that as well. So come on out and see us, because here at Wade's RV, we not only talk the talk, we walk the walk. We actually go out there and we camp. So we very much know about the experience. We're not just trying to get you out the door. That was one thing that was told to me earlier today on one of my deliveries, which we'll get into later. But he said, man, last time I bought my camper, it was just here's your camper, here's the keys, see you later sort of deal. And he said it was just a much more involved experience, and he just felt like he was at home. And I'm not going to give him away to his employer, but he said he was actually thinking about applying at Wade's RV. And that's what happens many times. People start buying RVs from us. They hang out with us, and they're like, man, I just want to hang out every day. And so they start working with us. And so it's a really cool thing here at Wade's RV. We have a great family atmosphere, and we're really focused on helping our customers, and who doesn't like that? So if you're looking for anything of that nature, come out and see us today. It's
Camping with Wade's RV on KRMG. Skyler Cooper and Willy D. And Glenn's been joining us talking about this Wildcat. Glenn, before we wrap it up on the Wildcat, anything else people ought to know about this thing?
Well, I just want to kind of reiterate the Wade's RV. When you go there to buy an RV or just to shop for an RV, you're going to meet friendly people that are not high pressure. They do everything right. It's a friendly atmosphere, and they make it fun to buy. That's the number one thing that I recommend to everybody that buys an RV. Make it fun to buy. You're buying fun, so
yeah, absolutely.
The buying process has got to be fun as well.
That makes perfect sense. You're not going out there to, buy insurance. You're buying an RV, something to go have fun with. Not to knock insurance salesmen, they're important. But, it's a lot more fun to buy an RV.
One thing I love is we actually have a cornhole tournament every day here at Wade's RV. And so we absolutely have a good time. We still get our work done, but we like to have fun as well. So if you come out here, you're definitely going to see some of that spirit. Every single day here at Wade's RV, there's just something different. And all the employees are very much oriented in making sure that you have the best experience. From the moment you walk in the door to the moment you're leaving our driveway, our focus is to make sure that it's the very best that it can be. And that's what we're going to do for you. And we're going to make sure you have the best deals, the best experience. And if you go anywhere else, you're just going to be like, I got to get back to Wade's RV because it is not where I need to be. So you can come out and see us and get hooked on the Wade's RV traditions.
Glenn, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Hey, Willy D, before we go to our break, let's talk about Willy D's delivery diaries for this week.
Man, I have already had some really great delivery diaries. I have been on the road all up and down these highways of Oklahoma this week. My first delivery was actually one of our famous Riverstones we were talking about. So I sold the last one, or actually I didn't sell it, I delivered it, but I was helping out these customers. I am a really big fan of Riverstone. They are incredible, the absolute best of the best whenever it comes to fifth wheels. They are a little bit more pricey than the Wildcat, but they have a dishwasher too, so you got to pay for the dishwasher somewhere. But I was actually delivering one of those, and it was a pretty interesting little drive. So it was pretty paved the whole way, and then whenever you get into some of these back roads, you never quite know what road you're turning off into. And this is a big 42-foot unit. It weighs about 16,000 pounds, and so you really need to be calculated whenever you're going down the road and making these trips. Well, we got to the customer's house, and he said, "Yeah, I just need to, pin the gate up." And I thought, man, that's going to make it pretty simple, and we're just going to be able to pull right in there. Now, remember, I'm using a 16,000-pound unit, and if you've been in the Oklahoma area, I know we have people listening from all over the United States, but it has been wet this week. I mean, it has been wet, it has been freezing, it has just been a mess. And so right when all this stuff started, we were debating, hey, do we want to go ahead and risk it and go ahead and drive down there and go ahead and get it up before it gets any more wet? And we decided we're going to go ahead and pull the trigger, and we're going to do it. So we drove it up there. He got the gate pulled back, but that's where it got fun. So I was pulling up this hill, and it was pretty graveled, I would say, but it definitely had quite a bit of mud in there. So I actually had to switch it over to four-wheel drive. And if you drive around in four-wheel drive, you don't have the turning radius that you normally do. And so this was just kind of a jungle gym of shifting from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive, but you will be proud. And the customer was very happy. I did not leave any ruts in his yard. We got his unit backed up exactly where it needed to be, plugged in, and everyone was a little bit wet, but everyone was a happy camper at the end of the day. So that was the first one that I did. And then this morning, I have been actively pulling units all up and down the highways again. I actually literally minutes. I think I got back at 11:55. We've been pulling units, helping out customers, and I was going out there to Hayburn Lake, which was really, really cool. I got to get these customers in a brand new unit, and they are actually camp volunteers. And I love whenever I get to deliver units to camp volunteers, because that means whenever I go camp there, I already have a friend. And so I told them I'm definitely going to be back up there camping. And what they purchased was a really cool, all redesigned Vibe. And Vibe has really some innovative floor plans that really set them apart from travel trailers across the board. And this one has a rear kitchen. It has a 12-volt fridge. It has a big fireplace. And what's really cool is their camping spot actually backs up right to the water. And so whenever they're actually at the sink and they're either preparing food or cooking or doing dishes, they're going to be able to have a great view of the lake. And then whenever you go outside the camper, they have an outside kitchen. They have a big awning. They have LED lights. This thing is loaded. And whenever we're talking about loading, I actually loaded up their old camper. And one thing I noticed whenever I was loading that is they actually upgraded to all power options, which setting up, it was a great, great thing to do. And then I picked up their trade and I brought it here to Wade's RV. And so I haven't been able to go inside and check it out to see exactly what floor plan it is, but I know it pulled great on the way down here. And so this one is a travel trailer. It's a couple years old, and it is a Coachman Catalina, which we sell here brand new as well. So if you're interested in a Coachman Catalina, come here and see exactly what is going on with it. It is in its natural state. It has not been cleaned up. It is actually still hooked up to my truck. I'm going to be unhooking it whenever we get done with this radio show. And then I think I'm going to Taft, Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken, after this. And I'm going to be delivering a Redwood, which is kind of funny because I went and picked that one up from the Shriners Park and I delivered it to the Shriners Park as well. And so I have quite the history with this Redwood. And so I'm really excited to drive it to its new owners, tell them a little bit of the history, because it's, the old saying, if walls can talk, well, walls can't talk, but guess what? The guy who delivers them can. And so I can tell you a little bit of the history of where that RV was and show them how to use it. And that unit is just beautiful. I've been talking about it on the radio for weeks. And so if you missed out on that unit, I still have one more of those beautiful full body paint fifth wheels out here. And so that one is a Big Sky that I have out here still. So you got to come check it out. I believe it's a front bathroom. So it's a unique floor plan and it's at a great price. And one thing that I love about Wade's RV is if you're not in the market for new, you got to come see us, because our used selection is different than everyone else's. It's actually clean. It's quality and it's priced right. And so it's another one of those things that sets Wade's RV apart from everyone else, aside just from our stand-up, all-around service that we give our customers every day.
It's Camping with Wade's RV on 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk. Willy D is going to tell us about a little bit of a new location happening for Wade's RV. That's when we come back from the break. This is KRMG.
You're listening to Camping with Wade's RV on 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News.
Go ahead and fill us in on the exciting news for you guys. You are expanding the family.
So you have been able to find us at 121st, and that's our service center where we can lift all of those big buses that we sell. We can actually do the chassis work on those. And so what that means is we can actually lift those up, get underneath there, and do everything that we need to do. And it really sets us apart from everyone else. And we also have storage out there. We have a full parts and body shop. And my favorite part over there is we have our parts store. So you got to go see old Larry. He is a character, and he will get you squared away. He's got everything from RV faucets to RV batteries. Anything you need, you could basically build an RV over there with Larry. So go see him. He can get you squared away. And then our super center that we have currently been building the last 5 or 6 years over here at 161st and Highway 75. This is where we've been selling all of these amazing units, 24 of the top brands at the absolute best prices. We have them here at 161st and Highway 75, but we also have storage, we also have service, and we are expanding. So the big announcement is here. We are actually expanding over to the Oklahoma City area. So we're going to have a store, and I think it's the coolest thing, but it's almost going to be a exact replica of the store we have here at 161st. So whenever you go to OKC, you're going to be feeling like you're at Wade's RV here in Tulsa, but up there in the city. And so it makes it to be a little bit easier for our customers. We have so many customers that are up there in that OKC area. It is a drive. It is 2 hours away. And so we want to make sure that we are available to best serve them and best serve Oklahoma. We're not just here for our customers. We want to meet new ones as well. And being Oklahoma's premier RV dealership with the top brands, we want to be as many places as we can be. And whenever I talk about premium brands, it's not just a sales pitch, folks. These are actually exclusive brands that no one else in Oklahoma can carry. And so if you're looking for that top quality, there's a reason they don't just let everyone carry it. It's because it's special. They don't want to just have everyone and their brother carrying it, because whenever you carry a product, you are carrying that brand's name. And so just like whenever we choose a product to have here, it goes both ways. And so we want to make sure that we have the absolute best products for our customers and the best service. So if you're up in the Oklahoma City area, get ready. We are coming up your way. We have already started on that. And so we got that finalized this week, and we're just really excited about the new chapter in Wade's RV. The last year or so, I've been telling you about all the different expansion and the growth. We had the new area built onto the shop. We had the new finance department built on. And so now I'm actually getting to tell you about a whole totally new location. And so it's just going to be incredible. And I'm really excited just to see the growth that we're going to have with Wade's RV, and just the amount of products and the amount of servicing that we're going to be able to help people out with. We have so much of a great customer base here. It's just going to open a tremendous door up there as well. So I'm super, super excited, and you're going to have to come out and visit us. I haven't actually been to the location yet, but I am itching and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I smell a field trip coming on for Camping with Wade's RV at the new Oklahoma City location when the time comes. Willy D, we're just about out of time for the day. Remind everybody where to find you in the meantime.
Okay, so you got to come find us today. We're going to be open until 5, and then at 6 o'clock, that's when all the fun is going to start. So from 6 to 8, we're going to be having RV and treat. There's going to be tons of candy, tons of giveaways, and lots of excitement out here. So you got to make sure to come out here and see us at 161st and Highway 75. And don't forget, you got to find us on YouTube and Facebook. We have tons of great videos out there, great content about RVs, and pre-COVID, you can actually see me and Skyler in the studio having this great RV program. And so make sure to come out and have some fun with us, and make sure that you're having a fun and safe Halloween. I appreciate everyone for listening to this show. Make sure to tune in next week. This is Willy D, and this has been Camping with Wade's RV.